being Iron Man looks like the coolest job in the universe. Until you actually think about it, because honestly, being Tony Stark is one of the most stressful, painful, chaotic, and emotionally exhausting experiences anyone could ever have. Sure, the suit is shiny, the money is unlimited, and everyone pretends they want your life, but the truth is, being Iron Man kinda sucks. And here's why. First of all, Tony Stark is rich, famous, and a genius, but none of that protected him from having one of the most traumatic childhoods ever. His parents died when he was young, leaving him alone with billions of dollars and a mountain of expectations. Everyone wanted him to be the perfect heir, the perfect engineer, the perfect businessman, and underneath that charming confidence, Tony has always been painfully lonely. People see the flashy cars and the big ego, but they don't see the nights he spent alone in a giant house with nothing but holograms and unfinished machines for company. Before he ever became Iron Man, Tony was already carrying a whole universe of emotional baggage, and then he gets kidnapped. Not by aliens, not by some sophisticated supervillain, no, by a bunch of people in a cave with guns and no Wi-Fi. They tortured him, forced him to build weapons, and nearly killed him. And what does he do? He builds a metal suit with scraps, escapes, and then dedicates the rest of his life to making sure nobody else gets hurt the way he did. But becoming Iron Man didn't make his life easier. It just made his problems 10 times worse. Actually, 100 times. Imagine having a device in your chest that's the only thing keeping you alive. Imagine waking up every day knowing that if one thing goes wrong, one wire comes loose, or one enemy hacks your system, you're done. And speaking of the suit, yeah, it can fly, shoot lasers, and look cool in every angle, but it also hurts, like a lot. The suit crashes, malfunctions, breaks, gets torn apart, smashed, exploded, and every time it's Tony inside taking the damage. No matter how advanced the armor becomes, there's always that one moment where Tony gets launched into a wall at 200 miles per hour and somehow survives with only a sarcastic comment. Sure, he jokes about it, but inside that armor is a body full of bruises, broken bones, and more concussions than the entire NFL combined. And the worst part, he has to constantly upgrade it because every new villain learns how to break it faster than he can improve it. You think software updates are annoying? Tony gets hardware updates that decide whether he lives or dies. And let's not forget the enemies. While other superheroes deal with one main villain, Iron Man has to fight a long list of people who all share one thing in common. They hate him personally. It's never "I want to destroy the world." No. It's always "I hate Tony Stark because he didn't shake my hand 10 years ago," or "Tony Stark embarrassed me in front of my robot," or "Tony Stark kicked me out of a conference." That man has the worst luck when it comes to enemies. Every mistake, every joke, every sarcastic comment eventually comes back as a villain with a grudge and a plan to kill him. Imagine going through life knowing that any person you ever insulted could one day build a giant robot and try to destroy your house. That's Tony Stark's daily reality. And the pressure, oh man, the pressure. Tony wasn't just a superhero. He was the guy everyone expected to have the answers. Alien invasion, call Tony. Time travel, call Tony. Apocalypse, call Tony. Someone lost their Wi-Fi password. Honestly, they probably still call Tony. The world relied on him so much that he never had time to breathe. Every time he tried to quit, rest, or retire, something catastrophic happened and dragged him right back in. He was a one-man army expected to save the world with nothing but his brain, his sarcasm, and his extremely damaged heart. And while all this is happening, Tony is dealing with anxiety, PTSD, panic attacks, and guilt that could crush an entire building. He created Ultron not on purpose, but the guilt haunted him for years. He saw innocent people die, cities fall, and teammates get hurt, and he carried all of it like it was his fault. Tony Stark smiled publicly, but privately he was breaking apart piece by piece. Being Iron Man wasn't just physically painful, it was mentally draining in a way most of us can even imagine. Then comes Thanos, the final boss of Tony Stark's life. Tony knew from day one that this battle would kill him. Remember, he had nightmares, visions, fears, and he still fought anyway. He tried to warn everyone, but no one listened. And when the time came, he put everything on the line. His life, his future, his family, to save the universe. But here's the saddest part. Tony Stark didn't want to be a hero. He wanted a normal life, a home, a family, a chance to finally stop fighting. But fate didn't give him that choice. The universe constantly demanded more and more from him until eventually, he gave everything he had left. And when he finally gets his happy life, a daughter, a cabin, peace, even then, he can't walk away. Because Tony Stark is the kind of hero who can ignore the pain of others just to protect himself. He knew going back meant he might not return, but he did it anyway because saving others meant more to him than saving himself. And that's why being Iron Man sucks more than anything. Tony Stark saved the world, but the world cost him everything in return. So yeah, Iron Man looks cool, powerful, and unstoppable. But behind the armor is a man who lived with trauma, fought endless battles, carried unbearable guilt, and sacrificed his peace so others could live. Being Iron Man isn't glamorous, it's tragic, painful, heroic, and incredibly lonely. And that's exactly why it sucks to be Iron Man.